Some of the South African boys. Hello guys.
Hello.
Morning, morning.
See the back of your shirts? That's very cool, very cool. Thank you guys. Cars on display. Too many to show. 5 Balboni's in attendance. There's the man himself. Valentino Balboni. Bulls, bulls, and more bulls. Look at that yellow SV. Beautiful. Majera. Bulls and more bulls. There's a beautiful mirror in the distance.
Welcome back to the vlog, guys. This is officially the first vlog for 2022. We just want to start off by saying thanks a mil for the support you guys gave us last year. We appreciate the likes, the comments, and all the views, and we look forward to an amazing year ahead. Guys, stay tuned. This is a video that comes out of Italy. We did a trip there a few years back. I just wanted to share it with you guys and run through some of the awesome products that Lamborghini produced and that we saw along the way. You'll also see our factory tour to Pagani. Okay, so here we go, guys. This is now inside of the museum, which is at the assembly plant where they manufacture the V10, the V12, the race car, and the Urus. So what you guys have just seen in the car on the screen is the 350s now into the Miura, which is probably the most iconic Lamborghini that obviously set the way forward for the brand. Research it. It's a very interesting story when you look at the feud between Enzo Ferrari and Ferruccio Lamborghini. There we just saw the Lamborghini LM truck, which is the Rambo Lambo. It's running a Countach motor. Very, very special vehicle. I believe there's 2 in South Africa. I know of one of the owners personally. You're going to see the prototype Urus over here on the screen. Very similar to the final product. It was very nice to see this probably about 3 years before the Urus actually came out. There on screen you've got the final product now. An amazing SUV, extremely fast. So at the factory here in St. Agatha, you will see race cars, you will see road cars, you'll see one-offs, few-offs, and a lot of prototypes. So like I said, you see race cars. Here's one of the Huracans that raced on the GT3 series. Obviously on retirement comes to the factory to showcase their products back to the market. Here is a Diablo that also wants to race in probably an endurance series of sorts. Very spectacular to see at the factory. Downstairs is what we saw here, all these cars. When we moved upstairs, we got onto the more special cars, I suppose you can say. A lot of the one-offs, few-offs, and prototypes. Right, so now we're moving upstairs, and we start off with the Lamborghini Veneno. This is a car that was modeled for the Aventador. If I'm not mistaken, there were about 13 coupes made and about 3 roadsters. Extremely fast car. Beautiful lines. Just look at that. Looks like a shark on wheels. One of the newer one-offs, few-offs should I say, produced after that was a Lamborghini Centenario, also V12, also modeled off of the Aventador chassis. Stunning car, a lot of carbon. And there you have one of the versions in a Roadster. And here my favorite Lamborghini, the Sesto Elemento, or 6 element in English, which on the periodic table is carbon. This entire car is made of carbon fiber. If any of you guys have seen the movie Need for Speed, you would know all about this car. It doesn't even have seats. The seats, the pads that make up the seating are glued on the chassis. This is modeled for the Gallardo. It's a 5.2 litre V10 and it is extremely light, which makes it so fast. And now we move on to the more modern cars. Performante in the background, the SVJ, and also you saw briefly there, which will come up in the next slide, is the Murcielago SV. Only one of these cars in South Africa, a white one. Here's the Aventador SVJ. And now again on to one of the limited edition cars, a Reventon. Not a particular favorite of mine, but a beautiful car nonetheless. I do know of one South African owner who has one of these overseas in the States. Then the next section of this video is going to pay a bit of homage to the trip. Like I said earlier in the video, this was a trip that we did to celebrate Valentino Balboni's employment and association with the brand for over 50 years. Almost every car up to a certain model, I think it was Murcielago, was driven by this man or tested by this man. So 181 owners from around the world brought 81 of their cars over to Italy for a 5-day tribute to Valentino Balboni. Just take a look in this video here. I mean, where do you see 3 Ford Countach followed by 3 or 4 Diavolo, a Miura, a Valentino Balboni Gallardo? It's amazing, guys. This was such a spectacular trip. The bottom of the picture there you can see Ruckers, Jalpas, Espadas. These are old iconic Lamborghinis. We were escorted by the Italian police, the Polizia, for the 5 days. Everywhere we went on the highway, they sort of gave us clear passage. They blocked off intersections, the robots, the traffic lights. They actually spent those nights with us at the hotel, enjoyed a few cold ones as well, and got to share some nice stories with us. This was our lunch we had at a sort of a farmhouse deep in the country. And this is everybody departing the lunch now, making their way back to the hotel. We actually had quite a good turnout from South Africa. We were 11 South Africans who went over. And the only country that had more than us was Germany, who had 12. We actually were 12, but a night before we left, one of our members fell ill and couldn't make the trip. So it was pretty good that a country from the bottom of Africa, third world, was actually right up there with numbers. These Gallardos, you can see here with the stripe down the bottom, that's actually a Balboni edition. There were 5 that made the trip. I think 3 or 4 of them came over from America. This was a car that Valentino spec'd himself back in the day. And at this event, he actually autographed a lot of these cars, some inside the bonnet, some on the dashboard. So I should imagine one day when Valentino passes away, those cars will be worth an absolute fortune. And in South Africa we have one, it's a yellow one. Here's the South African crew, looking smart there in their shirts with Mr. Balboni in the middle. Now this is quite impressive, guys. This is the actual Aventador that Marco Mappelli drove when he set the lap record around the Nürburgring in this Aventador SVJ. Here it is at the factory. And you guys can clearly see this is a road car. The only difference between the one that you buy from the factory is this car had a roll cage inside, obviously for safety purposes for Marco, and it was running the Super Trofeo R tires, which the car that you purchase comes out with the Super Trofeo, with the normal Pirelli P0s. Then on our 3rd day of the trip, we were taken across to the Pagani factory. Also again, beautiful experience, amazing experience, a very small and intimate factory. We got to get very close up and personal with the cars. Unfortunately, we weren't allowed to take pictures inside the assembly line, much like Lamborghini and Ferrari. You can't do that either. So here we were at their museum downstairs. This car was about to be delivered. So to end off this day, we got to meet Horatio Pagani, and we got to see him and Valentino Balboni share stories and converse. These are two iconic men, very influential in the motorsport industry, and it was a pleasure to meet them and see them. And then that night in the bar, Valentino came over and shared more stories with us, and the lucky few who were able to get him to autograph certain memorabilia, caps, t-shirts, he was there to do it. This man is an absolute legend. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Ciao.
Thank you, grazie.
Grazie.
Bella, bella.
Sehr
Ok. Grazie signore.